some other bad news about our Ferrari, but I guess we do actually got some good news. We got some new hoodies on the website. If you look here, you'll see a little bit of
What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we are finally back on our S2000 build. Well, technically we're just focused on the engine for now, because if you didn't see our previous video, we threw in an 05 engine into our 07 S2000 and that engine just would not work. The car's in limp mode. I think the crankshaft is actually a lot different, so the car won't read that engine, which is crazy because I think 05 and 06 are like totally different. That's like when they changed the engine stuff. So right now we're actually gonna go ahead and try to attempt to change this head gasket, something we should have did in the first place, but we didn't really know too much about these cars. So we got everything that we need right here. Let's go ahead and start ripping apart this engine and hopefully change this head gasket so we can get that car ripping. Dang, we're knocking the cobwebs off this thing right here.
That's right, and we also got this sucker completely torn apart down to the cams. Also got it set top dead center, and it is about to get a lot more technical, but luckily we're starting with the 4-banger for the first time doing this ever before. And also some of you guys are probably wondering why we decided to jump onto the S2000, and that is because we are waiting on some major Ford parts for the F450, and we really do want to get this sucker ripping because there ain't nothing like some good old VTEC. But let's go ahead, keep on moving, and try to get this head removed. Dang, look at this. The mice left some dang crumbs right there.
What is that?
I don't know. I guess that's normal for an engine. I don't know. That may be normal.
That fell through whenever we were taking stuff apart. Fell through the piston hole. I mean what is that?
Spark plug hole?
The spark plug hole. But I mean, the pistons actually look really good. The walls of the pistons, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a professional at this. We'll give it a little whirl, spin it around, and see what it does. But, or actually, we can't spin it around because we got it top dead center.
I mean, it wouldn't matter, honestly. You just put it right back there, and then you line that up with the cams. This is actually really a lot simpler than you think.
Yeah,
I think.
and it is definitely a blown head gasket, because if we come over here, let me turn this sucker around. Might have some stuff falling out of it. But check this out, dude. Check that out right there. You see that?
Snap.
That's mixing with the water, mixing, antifreeze mixing with the oil and stuff like that, and going on top of the piston. This is probably like the actual antifreeze burning up with stuff like this. You know, all
that's
this
what
stuff.
the crud is over there on the piston, dude.
Yep. Check this out. Is this original, all this gasket maker right here? I think it is. They probably do that at the factory, so we're going to have to do the exact same thing. But, dude, that's crazy.
So this is all it consists of, is just replacing this and then doing some gasket maker around here?
That's it. That's all a head gasket consists of.
And then you're telling me we can have VTEC and we could do some skids?
Mad skids, dude. Hopefully we get this sucker all back together. I really don't know all the, what's it called, torque specs. We're gonna have to, that's probably gonna be the longest process of this, is looking up torque specs, but we're gonna have to find it today. So let's go ahead. What do you want to do right now?
Let's go ahead and open up the new gasket and check it out.
See if it's even the same thing, because we ordered it like a long time ago. So let's go ahead, pop them suckers open and see what we got. Alright, so what we just did is cleaned our pistons, cleaned the top of the block, and also cleaned the head. Made sure everything's nice and clean so this gasket can seat properly. Went ahead and drained this milk over here with oil because, you know, mixed with some radiator fluid.
You got some cookies?
Man, you can just dip them right in. Looks like chocolate milk or whatnot, but we're gonna drain this just so it's easier to work with. And so right now we're actually gonna go ahead and throw in our head studs. We need to make sure all the oil is out of there.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice and sketchy here because these are gonna be torqued to 95 pounds. The original ones are torqued to 22 pounds.
Well, we're gonna torque them, I think, first to 22 pounds, and then I think you do like 90-degree turns and get them all the way up to 95 pounds, which we are using the APR head studs, which should be a lot stronger than the original one, so we can run a little bit more horsepower.
That way we can boost it in the future.
Yeah, whatever we want to do. Whatever we want to do. So,
but I believe that soot right there was actually eating away at some of the horsepower too.
Yeah, we make sure everything's nice and clean. Hopefully it runs perfect when we put everything together. So let's go ahead, throw in these head studs, and then throw on our head.
Alrighty guys, so we got the new head gasket on along with the new APR head studs. We got them torqued to 95 pounds of torque. We're using this pattern right here, and it was really sketchy because I thought one of those suckers was gonna break loose and pop us in the eyeball or something. Like we had a situation with these cam bolts, which if you could tell here, this one looks like it already has a stretched thread, which I believe we over torqued them. But that's exactly what we're gonna do tomorrow. We're gonna bring in our S2000, and it has a lot better camshaft bolts, and we're gonna use those and hopefully get this all put back together. But it is super late on us right now, as you can tell. We got a little early start, so we're gonna have to catch you guys tomorrow in the morning. All right, so it is the next day here, and I got this beautiful S2000 just sitting right behind me, ready to be driven, ready to be ripped around. But right now, we're actually gonna go ahead and pull it into the lift area. So we do gotta remove the Ferrari and the Lambo because we're gonna start dropping this engine and transmission. That way we can install our new engine rebuilt with a head gasket, and we're gonna put everything original back on it, the wiring harness, the intake manifold, and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and fire everything up and get it all swapped. Fired right up, didn't she?
Oh yeah, she's running, man. It's a good motor, man, but it just won't, it's not capable with this 07 wiring
Yeah, it's an 05 engine right there with the 07 engine harness. And
yeah, just something with the crank, man. The little gearing on the crank where the sensor reads is a lot different. Just won't let it go past 3K. Like 3K RPM, which we're gonna definitely keep this motor because we still got a bunch of parts. We may even rebuild another one in the future. I don't know. So
yeah, depending on how much we enjoy this one. I know they're super fun.
Yeah.
So dude, let's get
back
it.
This sucker up in there, lift it up, and start tearing it apart. so now that we got all the electrical wires disconnected, just laying on top of the engine for now, we're about to drain the fluid, so we got the car lifted up because we want to remove all these coolant hoses, and then I think that's going to be it for this engine bay. And then we're going to jump on the inside of the car, remove the shifter boot, and then once all that is done, then we can go ahead, lift the car all the way up and just work underneath the car.
Alrighty guys, so we almost forgot about the suspension. We just undid that. Now we're underneath here, and what are we getting at right now?
Now we got to remove this header pipe right here just to get that in the little CO2 sensor right here, or whatever.
O2 sensor.
O2 sensor.
You're thinking paintball.
CO2, O2, and then I think all we got left is to remove this little
slave cylinder or master cylinder. That's the slave cylinder, I believe.
Yeah,
so.
slave cylinder. So once we remove that, we're gonna go ahead and actually lower the car.
Got the
or we may have to
bracket
oh
there.
Yeah, we forgot about this.
Drive shaft, and that's pretty much it.
Let's go ahead, actually undo the drive shaft, exhaust, and then we're gonna go ahead and see if we can get this motor out.
Dang, that sucker is finally out, and I gotta say that was kind of a breeze, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty easy with this 4-cylinder. I mean, heck, this thing basically held on 6 bolts up front and 4 on the back. Everything else was super simple to unplug, but dude, check this out, man. Got this sucker all opened up, but this was our second time pulling this thing out, so it's super simple. Right now, what are we gonna do? Bring the engine hoist in here and probably pick this engine up out of this cradle, because we are gonna be using the same cradle.
Yes,
and then after that, we're gonna probably go ahead and start removing this cover right here, because we're gonna need them bolts up top, because all of our bolts over here are kind of bad. I think we messed them up the second time around.
Yeah, we might have over torqued these a little bit, so they kind of stretched as we showed you guys already.
Yep.
But let's go ahead and actually get that hoist, lift that sucker up, and start swapping a few things.
Let's do it, man. We should have this engine inside this car by tonight, right?
Yes, sir. Hitting VTEC and making some skids.
Let's do it.
If I'm not mistaken, this right here looks like a flamethrower. You know, it all comes into one connection and shoots 5-foot fireballs.
Are these long tube considered?
Yeah, these are
long
actually
tube headers?
long tube headers, because they all connect at the end. But what are we actually going to start doing? We're going to drop this sucker down, disconnect the transmission, and
take the whole entire wiring harness out, because this is from the 07 car.
Yeah, and also this intake manifold is from that car. So we're going to use this intake manifold on this engine.
Yeah, swap everything over, and then we're going to bring in our transmission. Hopefully it's not too heavy, because our forklift is not operational.
Yeah, and we don't have a skid steer out here, which is all good. I think we use some manpower on that. So
yeah, definitely lift it up.
Let's go ahead and get started, dude.
Let's do it, man.
Yep, that's right, boys. That's the original transmission. You can tell with the deer particles here.
Yep.
Matches the underneath of this car, but we're gonna go ahead and swap over this area right here because I believe we swapped them before.
Yeah, this one's kind of the bearing and got shot because how rusty it is. I don't know how water got in there. Probably had this top down.
Probably hit like 7th gear or something.
Probably went for the 8th one and it completely tore off.
8th gear usually does that. But yeah, right now we're gonna go ahead and try to connect this transmission into this engine. As you can tell, we got everything torqued. The cams are torqued. Everything went smoothly. Got the intake manifold on. Just taking a bunch of things. All we got left from this engine is them
headers and the wiring harness,
yes,
which we're gonna wait until we put the car, or not the car, the engine and transmission together and put it on the actual
cradle.
So let's go ahead, see if we can mate these two. I think we're gonna go ahead and lift this engine first, and then we're gonna put it right up next to this thing and put them together.
And that's a wrap right there, boys. What do we need?
Go ahead and grab some oil, come back, and fire this sucker up.
And we got our oil here. They are officially closed, but man, the manager is an OG. He's gonna hook us up. He actually stayed open for a couple more minutes. So we're getting oil filters right there and the oil, some cheap coolant, and then we're gonna be out of here. All right, so we are finally back, and once again, huge shout out to the guy at the AutoZone, the manager, man. He stayed open late. We just got there like 2 minutes late, and he stayed open for another 10 minutes. We got us a filter.
Man, look at that oil, man. We're gonna have to change this oil probably like three times.
Yeah, that's why we got some cheap stuff for now. We're gonna run this the very first start, and then we're gonna like change it after a couple revs and after it warms up.
Yeah, after it warms up. I mean, after we drive it, or just first time we're gonna let it warm up, idle, and then we're gonna change it. And then one more time we're gonna warm it up, idle, probably
change
for
the filter and the oil once again. But that's what we got for now. So let's go ahead, add the fluids here and give it a crank.
You ready?
Yes, sir. I'm ready. Come on, come on, come on, Betsy. She probably ain't got no fuel in her. Come on, Betsy.
Lights on, I don't know why.
Hey, let it warm up. And the only thing that we gotta know is, will it go past 3,000?
That's the big question, man. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it goes past 3,000. All right, we gotta check all the fluids real quick after that little warm up.
But dude, it sounds so freaking good, dude. It is running so smooth. We're about to rev this sucker out, and if it goes past 3, man, I'm telling you, we got VTEC.
I know, man. That's the big thing.
I mean,
I'm just checking everything 100%. Probably I shouldn't, because it might not even go past 3,000.
I mean, look at this huge mess we got, dude. We were doing this all day today. Got the engine's got a huge mess. Look, even Max, he's wore out.
Wore out. He was passing tools all day, man.
Passing tools left and right, and we made it this far. We got the engine back in. Now's the moment of truth. Fire it up one more time, and let's rev.
You see that oil a little bit? It's kind of a little bit milky, so we can't. We're good for like 1 or 2 revs.
Hopefully we didn't foul the plugs. Look at the smoke back there. Is that probably all the coolant that was in the exhaust?
Yeah, all the old coolant that was in there.
Man, we should have got a new battery. Alrighty guys, so we just couldn't get this thing started for the second time. I believe our battery is just super dead, and it is super late right now, so we're gonna have to get a new battery tomorrow in the morning.
So it is the next day. We got a brand new battery in this thing. Let's give it a crank and see if this thing will fire right up.
All right, so this thing just wouldn't fire up, so we went ahead and pulled the spark plugs to see what was going on, and check that out. These suckers are wet with fuel. Well, I don't know why the heck they're getting flooded, so we're gonna go ahead and get some new spark plugs, make sure they're nice and dry, and give it another try. All right, so no luck starting this thing, and check this out. Oh my goodness, what is that?
That ain't good, man.
Dude,
probably have a cracked head or something. Because we changed the head gasket,
dude.
And that right there means it's still mixing with the water or coolant. Which we really didn't see no cracks in the head. I mean, I looked at the piston walls and stuff like that because I was cleaning all the way around there, but
I guess we didn't look close enough, dude. Because
maybe it's a hairline crack, but if it's a hairline crack, it's not gonna mix this fast, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is mixing pretty fast. And I wonder if we got, if that's coolant that was like getting these spark plugs wet too, you know what I'm talking about?
Probably coolant, a little bit of water. I don't know, man. Did we do the head gasket wrong or something? I mean, we put it on there all right, the right direction, torqued them down, specific order and everything, dude. This is crazy.
It sucks. But you know what? If it comes down to it, we're gonna end up ordering a brand new head, and we're gonna do it all over again.
Order a brand new block, man.
All right, so there you have the milky oil. We also went ahead and drained all the coolant, took out all the spark plugs, and what we're gonna do is actually try to start this thing with just oil and without coolant, because I believe it is actually eating the coolant into the engine. So go ahead and crank it up, and you'll see what's going on here. Yeah, that's definitely a blown head gasket, warped head.
Brand new head gasket.
Yeah.
Warped head probably.
Yeah, warped head. Dang it, man. Dang.
We're this close, man. We spent like, what, 2 days on this thing?
About a day and a half, but you know what? We're not gonna give up yet. I think what we're gonna do is buy a brand new engine. From the dealership. Nah, I don't know what we're gonna do yet. All right, so no luck getting this thing started for the second time. It only started one time, and that's gonna be it. We're gonna go ahead and put this sucker completely back together while we order some parts. Let us know what you guys think we should do. Should we order parts, or should we swap like the wiring harness from our parts car and all that stuff? So be sure to drop your comments down below. But that is some bad news right there. We were hoping for some good news because we do got some other bad news about our Ferrari, but I guess we do actually got some good news. We got some new hoodies on the website, some Christmas edition hoodies. They all sell out quick, so be sure to copy one if you want to get you one, maybe a Christmas gift or something like that. But that's gonna be it. Let's go ahead and put this thing back together and bring in our Ferrari and break the news to you guys. All right, so the S2000 is out of here. The Ferrari's pulled in, and that is right, boys. We wrecked our Ferrari 458 Spider. If you look here, you'll see a little bit of discoloration, but if you really zoom in, you'll see some severe carbon fiber crackage, and you're probably wondering how that happened. It was actually our first day out on Thanksgiving Day. We had a bunch of family members over here, and somebody actually rear-ended us, which sucks, but you know what? It's part of life. Stuff like this happens. And huge shout out to Vorsteiner for actually helping us get a replacement here real soon. So this thing will be back on the road before you know it, 100% complete and ripping. So with that being said, that is gonna be a wrap for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure your post notifications are on so you don't miss out on anything, because we got some awesome things coming your way. Also guys, be sure to follow us on Instagram at goonzquad, where you can get an inside scoop there before YouTube. And if you wanna copy one of these brand new hoodies, be sure to visit goonzquad.com and help support your boys. So thank you guys for all the love and support. Be sure to drop your comments and thoughts down below, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.